Yeah, that's right, Tom. Just the president putting out a statement. He left the White House a little while earlier today. Clearly, they were expecting this. The Trump campaign prepared with a statement from the president. So it is a lengthy statement. We are going to read it in full since it is such a momentous occasion at this moment. So I'll start reading it. It says, quote, "We all know why Joe Biden is rushing to falsely pose as the winner and why his media allies are trying so hard to help him. They don't want the truth to be exposed. The simple fact is this election is far from over. Joe Biden has not been certified as the winner of any states, let alone any of the highly contested states headed for mandatory recounts or states where our campaign has valid and legitimate legal challenges that could determine the ultimate victor. In Pennsylvania, for example, our legal observers were not permitted meaningful access to watch the counting process. Legal votes decide who is president, not the news media. Beginning Monday, our campaign will start prosecuting our case in court to ensure election laws are fully upheld and the rightful winner is seated. The American people are entitled to an honest election. That means counting all legal ballots and not counting any illegal ballots. This is the only way to ensure the public has full confidence in our election. It remains shocking, it remains shocking that the Biden campaign refuses to agree with the basic principle and wants ballots counted even if they are fraudulent, manufactured, or cast by ineligible or deceased voters. Only a party engaged in wrongdoing would unlawfully keep observers out of the count room and then fight in court to block their access. So what is Biden hiding? I will not rest until the American people have the honest vote count and they deserve and that democracy demands. Now, Tom, we've been hearing from more officials in the Trump camp, specifically Jenna Ellis, who's often on this network. She sent me her statement, which says media coordinated efforts are attempting to simply declare Joe Biden the president and ignore the rule of law. She went on to say, the rule of law, excuse me. She went on to say that this is not over until every vote is counted. And you do have to keep in mind, as you said, Tom, we're not calling it here at Newsmax. There's still outstanding races. There's still outstanding votes to be counted. In addition to that, there are these recounts that are supposed to happen in Wisconsin and Georgia. There's questions about Arizona. There's Pennsylvania, particularly. We heard from the president's legal team there today. They're filing several lawsuits. In addition to that, there's something before the Supreme Court in regards to that state and a 3-day extension. Some of those ballots might be thrown out after November the 3rd. They've been asked to be segregated in case the court rules that the November 3rd deadline extension of 3 days, extending it to yesterday, was not valid. So there's still a lot of questions about this. And so the Trump team is saying that declaring Joe Biden president at this point is very premature.
The exception of Michigan, all of these states that we've been talking about, the margins are razor thin. We're talking 30,000, 50,000, 20,000 votes where some sort of systemic problem that has been raised could make a difference. But the fun is going to start really on Monday when they start filing these complaints and they start taking this matter to court.
That's true. And you mentioned that it is razor thin in most states but Michigan, but the Trump campaign and the RNC still have a lot of grievances in Michigan. And if you've seen, RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel was in that state yesterday doing a press conference about some of the evidence of fraud they say that they have found specifically in that state. There's also news today of a whistleblower in the state of Michigan working with the FBI regarding the backdating of ballots that came in, the postmarks on those to make them seem as if they were valid. And there's just questions about the statistical anomalies of votes that were found in states like Michigan and Wisconsin that came in the middle of the night that went almost 100% for Joe Biden. And in addition to that, in different states, just a lot of questions that they feel need to be resolved before you can declare either Joe Biden or President Trump the winner.
Yeah, and you know, the timing on all of this, Emerald, still certainly fascinates me. We talk a lot about media collusion with the Democratic Party, and you know, here we have the president just leaving the White House. We believe to go to his golf course to play around the golf, and he deserves to be able to do that. We have the press conference that Rudy Giuliani is going to hold in Philadelphia happening, and at the very same time, all of a sudden, all of the networks, with the exception of Newsmax, decide that this is the time that they are going to call the election. We are here at Newsmax, as I mentioned, not calling the election for Joe Biden, and I'd like to read you a statement from our management. At this time, Newsmax is not calling Joe Biden the winner of the election. The election remains very close, and President Trump continues to contest results in several states. All votes should be counted. The media should not make the determination of the winner under these circumstances.